2024 was the year of Caitlin Clark, and I think it's about time that we all crown her as the face of
Basketball fans, quick question. Who's the most influential player in the game right now? If you didn't say Caitlin Clark, it's time to take a closer look. In just a short time, she's not only dominating on the court, but also changing the game itself. From smashing viewership records to landing major business deals, Clark is accomplishing things that even seasoned pros couldn't. Ready to be amazed? Let's dive in. And did you see what Caitlin Clark accomplished on Christmas Eve? It wasn't just a new basketball or some stylish sneakers. She achieved something truly extraordinary.
Firstly, Caitlin Clark was named AP Female Athlete of the Year following her impact on women's sport.
Yes, she did it again. Caitlin Clark just won the AP Female Athlete of the Year award. Can you believe it? This isn't just another trophy gathering dust. It's one of the biggest honors in sports. Just a week ago, she was also named Time Athlete of the Year. Talk about making waves.
Caitlin Clark raised the profile of women's basketball to unprecedented levels in both the college ranks and the WNBA, and Tuesday she was named the AP Female Athlete of the Year for her impact on and off the court.
How big is this? Caitlin Clark just won AP Female Athlete of the Year and Time Athlete of the Year. Massive. Picture this. 74 top sports journalists from across the country are choosing who deserves this huge award, and guess what? 35 of them picked Clark, almost half. Now, here's the kicker. Simone Biles, the gymnastics legend, only got 25 votes. Clark didn't just win, she dominated, and now she's not just another athlete. She's part of an elite club.
It says a group of 74 sports journalists from the Associated Press and its members voted on the award. Clark received 35 votes, Olympic gymnast Simone Biles was second with 25, and boxer Iman Khalif was third, getting 4 votes.
Picture this. 74 top sports journalists from across the country are choosing who deserves this huge award, and guess what? 35 of them picked Clark, almost half. Now, here's the kicker. Simone Biles, the gymnastics legend, only got 25 votes. Clark didn't just win, she dominated, and now she's not just another athlete, she's part of an elite club.
Clark is only the 4th women's basketball player to be honored as the Female Athlete of the Year since it was first presented in 1931, joining Cheryl Swoops, Rebecca Lobo, and Candace Parker.
But here's the thing, it's not just about what Clark did on the court. Sure, her skills are incredible, but this award is about something bigger. Her impact on the sport and the way she's changing the game. Next voik. Let's dive into why Caitlin Clark keeps winning these awards. Her name has completely transformed basketball, sparking talk of a new Jordan effect. Her extraordinary talent has led people to compare her to one of the greatest athletes of all time. And the financial impact of her success.
What I thought was interesting is that Rebecca Lobo and Candace Parker both publicly congratulated Caitlin on winning this award, and of course the third person on this list did not.
But it's not just about her talent. It's about the attention she's brought to the WNBA. Thanks to Caitlin Clark, the league is now the fastest growing brand in the world. She's responsible for 26% of the WNBA's total revenue, which is a huge impact. It's things like this that explain why she keeps winning.
There are people arguing that maybe it should have been somebody like Simone Biles, maybe it should have been someone like Sydney McLaughlin, who both, by the way, huge fans of both of them, both truly incredible athletes.
That's right. The WNBA is now the fastest growing brand in the world. And get this, Caitlin Clark accounts for 26% of the league's total revenue. One player is responsible for over a quarter of an entire league's earnings. That's not just impressive, it's unheard of. You might be thinking, the WNBA was already growing, and you're right, it was. But what Clark has done is on a whole new level. Nobody saw this coming. The boom we're seeing with Caitlin Clark is completely unexpected. It's like she hit the fast-forward button on women's basketball.
But what I think a lot of people are missing when we talk about these global and national awards that Caitlin Clark is winning this year, when we talk about AP Female Athlete of the Year, when we talk about Time Magazine Athlete of the Year, when we talk about the next one that I'm going to name that she was also named this week, when we talk about these, it is more about her impact on the sport and how she elevated an entire sport. It's more about that and less about how she played on the court. Now, how she played on the court was also incredible, and like I said, she's broken so many records and the numbers speak for themselves.
Even if Caitlin Clark had an incredible season, but viewership stayed the same or only saw a small increase, we wouldn't be having this conversation. You could argue that there are other players better than her, But you can't deny that she has captured the attention of people worldwide. She's drawn in casual fans and made a huge impact beyond just her performance on the court.
But it's also about the number of eyeballs, the kind of money that was drawn to the WNBA. The fact that the WNBA is now the #1 fastest growing brand in the world. It's things like that, that it's her accounting for 26% of total revenue in the WNBA. Those are the kinds of things that make it as to why she is winning these awards.
It's very similar. I might have been too young to fully experience the Jordan effect, but from everything I've heard, it's strikingly alike. Jordan didn't just play basketball, he transformed the entire sport, attracting new fans, increasing TV ratings, and making the NBA a global sensation. Now, Caitlin Clark is doing the same for women's basketball. She's not just dazzling with her skills, she's earning one award after another.
Beyond, if she just had an incredible season, but viewership stayed the same, or maybe only had a little bit of a, tiny bump in viewership, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Call her the best basketball player in the world if you want. Say that there are many of players better than her if you want. Whatever it is, you cannot argue the fact that she captured the attention of people around the world. She captured the casual fan.
The article mentioned that the WNBA is planning to schedule a fever game overseas because of Caitlin Clark's growing popularity. Her impact on basketball is huge and reaching far beyond the US. The WNBA is making big moves because of her influence. She recently won a major award for her impact on the sports business, proving she's changing more than just how the game is played. At first, Clark thought her fans were only in America. Boy, was she wrong. People from all over the world are now cheering for her, as her skills speak to fans everywhere.
Will agree that the WNBA over the past few years has been growing. It is nothing, like nobody could have expected the kind of boom that they saw from Caitlin Clark.
Here's where it gets crazy. The WNBA wants to play games overseas, and they're specifically talking about a fever game because of Caitlin Clark. They want to showcase her talent to the whole world.
Similar, I feel like I was maybe too young to truly feel the Michael Jordan effect, but from everything that I've heard, it's very similar.
Fans of Caitlin Clark, the WNBA is planning to schedule a fever game overseas, and honestly, the sooner, the better. Just like the NBA schedules international games, it's time for the WNBA to do the same and take Clark's star power global.
But does she have that same effect overseas? And that was a lot of people's argument also for the Time Magazine Athlete of the Year. It's like, oh, she doesn't have any global appeal. And I don't think that that's correct from what I've seen.
In a Sports Business Journal article, it was revealed that no one saw this coming. The Indiana Pacers are looking to replicate what the Indiana Fever is doing.
No one thought this day would ever come, an NBA team riding a WNBA team's coattails, but that's how Caitlin Clark has changed the world. The Indiana Fever are now a global brand that Indiana Pacers executives say that they can only hope to someday replicate, which once again proves why Clark is SBJ's choice as the best sports business athlete of the year for 2024. She has unlocked the power of women's athletics with a following that has drawn comparisons to Michael Jordan and his Chicago Bulls hate